Hello, welcome to there ain't no whoosh. There's no whoosh here. Welcome to the RuneScape October Q&A. I am Johnny being joined by Mod Sailing,
hello,
Mod Orion, and Mod Kelpie. How are you guys doing today?
Really well. You're tired, apparently.
I'm really tired, yeah. But I'm good. I'm really good. I'm excited. Yeah.
I'm good. I'm happy.
Kind of weirded out by this camera.
Yeah, it's a different camera angle. It's different. A bit of change, as it were. But you know, what's
It took me ages to figure out what camera you're on.
It's a red light. It's a precious red light. So this week, obviously, we released with the start of Customer Support Week 2016. Kelpie,
Yes.
your team obviously involved
Yeah,
with
we
that.
obviously worked with the CS guys and delivered some content that they wanted. So we made the clue scrolls and the drop and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can
Seems to
obviously
have gone down pretty well.
yeah, pretty much, and you can get involved now.
It's always
obviously,
nice
every week.
seeing, like I really like updates where we end up bringing the community in together to like a focal point, and then they all start talking. So in this instance, so we're in Burthorpe getting their clue scrolls and working out the clues together, because obviously it was different clues.
Yeah, because I think it's 25 different clues, and there was like a mega thread where everyone would go, well, you sort of community trying to figure out the anagrams and stuff like that. It's really cool. Brought them together. All right, and you okay there? I saw a react. No?
Camera angle changed again. You're just freaking me out, everyone.
There was also no red light anymore, so now you're screwed.
No, only that one doesn't have a red light. The other two do. You're fine. You're all good. But obviously, today's stream, we're focusing on the month ahead for October, and we'll be going into Region 2 of the Ark, which releases next Monday, which, again, like obviously I was a bit amazed it's coming up that soon, which is a good thing. Then, of course, going into Halloween, what we have planned for that. Also, a little bit of a mention of something called Walk Like a Zombie, which Mod Sailing will go into in just a little bit. And, of course, Bounty Hunter from the Ninjas and some more general Ninja questions as well. So, Ark Region 2, we went into it last week. You and Mod Rally showed it off on stream on gameplay, and you even managed to squeeze in the hunter outfit at the end of the stream as well, much to your delight.
Because I forgot.
It's fine, you managed to get it. You can watch the past broadcast from last week's stream if you want to check that out, but to give you a bit of a recap, overview of the Ark Region 2, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong here. 4 new islands coming in, base islands that is. The Uncharted Isles is getting a bit of a beefy push in regards to more resources in that sense, and we're also changing a lot from the very first update of the Ark to go in with this update as well. Mod Manty's done a post on that on the RuneScape forums if you want to check that out as well. Requirements for it, we're bringing in farming and divination as main skilling plots, I guess is the right way to say it.
Yeah.
But there's also many other skills coming in as well, right?
Oh, yeah. I think in the stream last week, I mentioned about 15 skills in total. So obviously with Batch 1, or Part 1, the first 3 islands, we had access to mining, woodcutting, fishing, there was some Slayer stuff, and hunting. And we're adding farming and divination nodes to the Uncharted Isles, as well as lesser points or lower versions on Goshima and the islands that once were turtles. So this is the thing, is when you say that we've got another 4 new islands, bearing in mind we only released 3 with the first batch. The islands that once were turtles are 3 islands themselves, so our environment team have actually had to do 6 new main islands. Then we've added Northern Amanishi, which you can't visit yet, I'm sorry, but it's nicely decorated for the future. That's kind of like a hint, maybe next year type of thing. So there's actually another 7 new islands, and then we've improved the Uncharted Isle system. It's been a big...
How's that been?
It's been a big release. It's going to be an even bigger release once it's released. Yeah, phrasing. But yeah, it's looking really good. So it's in release candidate testing now, and we're getting a few minor bugs back, which means I've got a busy night tonight. But it's looking pretty damn good, yeah.
So obviously you have I really love it, the journal, which is like your all-encompassing item now for your journeys on the Ark and in the Eastern Lands itself. Just for the people who didn't watch last week, are you kind of able to explain the journal very quickly?
Of course, yeah. So you've got this really cool journal that you pick up from Sharkborn. The first time you go to Waiko, he hands you a tourist brochure. That brochure will turn into this Ark journal now. And inside it, you can view potential discoveries that you can find, and that involves flora and fauna around the Ark region. We have designed it in a way so that if we were to do the skulls and hook and pincer, in years to come, then we can update it as well as one big Eastern Lands journal, which is really damn cool. There are a number of titles and cosmetic rewards associated with it. A few of them are hidden, so go and explore and
So there are
find out.
titles coming in.
Yeah, so there are definitely three.
Definitely free.
Definitely three, and some more. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So basically, obviously, you got a couple secrets then to keep an eye out for. Obviously, with the first release of the arc, you brought in the Spirit Dragon pet, I believe it was, or the Spirit Dragon follower. Is there going to be anything similar to that, or anything new in pet-wise for this release?
Yes. Okay, so we haven't done this in RuneScape for quite a while, but we've released a tradable pet token, which is quite hard to get. And it's going to be one that a lot of people will want. It's sort of a favourite creature of mine. Again, I'm not going to reveal which one that is. For completing the bird watching part of the Arc Journal, you've got a really colourful, tropical bird who's called Iago. Reference.
Hey.
Yeah, and there's also, we've made the Spirit Dragon pet an override as well.
Nice.
So there's a few players that have been badgering us about that, and yes, so we found the time to do that.
Awesome. So you can expect that obviously from Monday's update if you want to override them and see what attack. I'd be interested to see their attack animations and stuff. Actually.
So would I, because I haven't seen them at all. Yeah.
Gotcha. In the behind-the-scenes video, which came out last Friday, which was detailing, of course, the month ahead we have coming up, it was mentioned that with the new boots and gloves coming, the armors will now have full set effects. Are you able to tell us what they are?
Yes. Okay. So we don't want to drum up loads of hype about these set effects. They're very minor. They provide assistance with your ports stuff. But the key thing about them is that it's a 4-set bonus, so you can use it with something in your glove slot, something in your boot slot, or your Slayer helm, or something like that. And it's just a side bonus to getting it. The main thing we really wanted to do was provide the aesthetics, the matching garments to already existing armor.
Gotcha. And will the boots and gloves be similar to the Divination Scrimshaw, for example, where you unlock the scrolls via the Arc and make them with port resources at your port, something like that?
Yeah, that's exactly how they work. You get the scroll to unlock it and make them there with the specific requirements. I think there's things like smithing, crafting, and potentially rune crafting to make them all.
So obviously you've got cami masks, you've got the birds that you can spot as well, you've got the berries and other things as well.
Yeah.
I mean, out of those three I've just mentioned, which of those are your favourites, if there's any you can share? You did share a couple of the birds, I believe, on stream last week when you were gathering, spotting them. But
okay, so
any of them stand out to you?
The berry system's really cool. I haven't said much about it because I want the players, I want you guys to figure it out yourselves. It's something that has been done in other games before, but we've put our own spin on it. It's I don't know. It's my baby, my brainchild. I thought, I'll take a day out. We have these things called tap days, personal project days, and I just coded it all in about a day. And then Mod Manti, God bless him, tested it in a good. Oh, and Mod Shogun, I'm not forgetting you. Thanks, buddy. They tested it. It took about a day out of the project to fit that in for me, so I'm happy. The berries are cool. One of my favourite birds in the bird collection is the fluffy joblet. It's we've got a weird naming scheme, so things like tortles and wobbegongs, and I'll let you guys see the birds.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Dave Osborne's favourite one so far is the Great Pecker. So Dave Osborne's Great Pecker is on the Uncharted Isles somewhere. Go look for it.
I'm in.
Have you actually, or are you actually going to tell people what the set effect is?
No, we'll wait. We'll wait and see. Yeah.
But you just said you didn't want to hype it up, but now you're making them wait.
Yeah, because it's not amazing. It's an additional bonus to those of you who like ports.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question from the chat from I'm Rubik in the Twitch chat. Will we be able to teleport anywhere?
Teletabs Teletabs are a thing, yeah. They've got really cool models as well, and if you've seen the RuneFest skill chips, they look really similar to those. So they've got like a turtle on them for the islands that once were turtles, and a really cool spirit dragon for Amanishi. And yeah, you'll be able to buy Teletabs with tiny amounts of chimes.
And then I guess the last one, just want to touch upon it. I believe, is there 5 mini quests come of this, or?
Yes, 5 new mini quests.
5 new mini quests.
So with the invasion of Port Sarim, we had 1 mini quest to do the Arc prerequisites. Then we released 4 mini quests with the first update, and then in this update we've got another 5. So there's 10 main story ones. Actually, we've got an extra mini quest for this one that we managed to sneak in as well, that Mod Stu has worked really hard on, and Mod Rowley has done all of the dialogue for. He's been in a world of dialogue the last week, and I think he's all dialogued out. So it's 6 mini quests for this release on top of the previous 5. There'll be 11 in total.
So I'm going to ask about examines. I loved personally that the first region of Arc, I think Mod Stu literally took time and just literally coated everything in examines. Are we expecting the same with this?
He's done it again.
He's done it again?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I think it was late last night. He must have stayed until well after office hours. And he requested, is there anything that you guys think needs an examine? And yeah, I mean, even he's added seashells to Uncharted Isles, and it's something like abandoned mollusk housing or something like that. It's just little bits of nice
flavour.
Yeah, it's good.
Nice. Well, that's really cool. I mean, I know that to some players, like, they love being able to just right-click and examine pretty much everything. It was kind of a standout as well with Arc Region 1, so it's pretty awesome that that's coming back in. So last thing I'm going to ask you in regards to the Uncharted Isles, the costs to travel, I believe, have changed now, correct?
Yes.
And also the resources per voyage, short, medium and large, have changed as well. You able to just clarify that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've reduced the base amount from, I believe it was 50, then you could reduce it down to 40 with buying the upgrades in Waiko. That will go down to 20 now, which means that you have, that's for a large, long voyage, by the way, the longest and largest islands. So you have much more freedom to travel around, and that's the idea. I think when we originally balanced it, we balanced it well with our intention in mind, but the intention was not how it played out. So we want players to be able to visit an Uncharted Isle and go, I'm not interested in those crablets, that wobbegong, or those golden bamboo. I'll hunt turtles for half an hour and still have enough to go to my next island. We didn't take that into account. We assumed that players might want to harvest everything and move on for maximum profit. So yeah, this time you'll be able to skip a few islands if you just
No,
can't be
so
bothered.
definitely like lessons learned from Region 1 and can move on.
Yeah.
Obviously for people in the chat asking about requirements for comp, etc. Mod Rally pretty much just said it last week. He doesn't want to spoil anything in that sense. I imagine that stance is still the same. So in regards to the, excuse me, in regards to the requirements, I've just hit my microphone there, apologies. Sorry for the crackle. In regards to the requirements, they are currently unknown for the moment in regards to sharing with you guys. So you just have to wait and see with next Monday's update. All right, so unfortunately, I'd love to say I'm done talking to you, but we've got a bit more to talk about, which is Halloween.
Oh, yes.
Obviously, Halloween was shown in that BTS as well. Kind of a Dimension of Disaster take on Invention, I believe, was how it was overviewed in that sense by Mod Osborne. So in regards, so I just kind of mentioned it there, kind of spoiled the question, but can you give us an overview of that Halloween event?
Yes, absolutely. So we got picked up from tropical islands and dumped in a haunted house, essentially, last week. Like, brilliant. You still got some work to do on the arc, but finish that off and do some Halloween. Yay. So we've got about 10 days to do this event. We've planned out a lot of it. We're halfway through development, and it's going really well so far, so we think we can deliver everything that we want to, which is great because it's quite large in scope. But the idea is that we travel to the same dimension that we went to in Dimension of Disaster, and that's why we've codenamed this Invention of Disaster. Yay. You can blame Mod Joe for the amazing...
You mentioned it, yeah.
And we've got Doc from the Invention Guild, except he's like Doc's evil twin, and he's called Iron Doc because he's part cyborg
Right.
invention. You step out of the Invention Guild and you look over to Falador, and it's all black, and it looks like a dread fort, essentially. And in this dimension, the Black Knights won. And so Falador belongs to the Black Knights. You can see this awesome Black Knight castle, big old flaming pyre. The No Gothic statue in sight, and it's a different universe. This place, it's a different place, and we've got potentially four. I'll say that now because we've got 3 really good ones, and we're kind of toying with the last one to see if it fits the theme or not. Like mini games / activities for you guys to do. Think similar scale to Easter and Christmas just gone, and what was I going to say? The invasion of Ports of Rim and stuff like that, where the player can kind of do some little bits to help out with the resistance. And what you've got to do is Iron Doc has a plan, and you're helping him out with this plan. And that's about as far as I'm going to go, because we want the surprise to actually have an effect on the player.
Okay.
It's got quite a nice little twist to it. And unfortunately, it's one of those things, isn't it, where if you say there's a twist, people always go, "Oh, you've ruined it now because I'm expecting a twist." But yeah, it's fun. You'll like it.
Setting the hype, I see.
Yeah, I'm keeping it steady,
So I don't know if you're able to answer this, but so first of all, you mentioned there's activities to do. So is this an area where you go in and you can see other players as well, or is it going to be so you can see other players?
Yes. So it works similarly to the Invention Guild now, where there's like an arbitrary minimum or maximum, should I say, players that can go into this one area before it shards off and you get another instance. So there will be a large amount of players there. You can interact and have a laugh with people. There is an event at the end of the. There's an event at the end of the event. Yeah, we'll go with that. Where you will be in your own instance, because it's up to you to solve what's happened.
Is there going to be some sort of so a little question here? Can we get a randomly spawning Halloween boss similar to the one in Darkscape, but without the PvP mechanic for some fun drops?
Not this year, but I'm not gonna kind of forego that in the future. That sounds cool. I liked having what's the name of the massive snowman?
Snowverload.
Yep, Snowverload. He was pretty cool. Something like that, or Claudia in the future would be really nice, but it's not going to happen this year. We have a plan. We've got to stick to it now because we've gone down that road.
So are you able to, is there rewards being decided yet, and are you able to share any?
Yeah, I mean, it's the usual holiday event affair, so there are cosmetics and overrides and stuff like that you can get. I don't think I am able to say, just in case we can't do one of them, but there's a pretty cool new hat override as well that's definitely coming. That's good, yeah.
Gotcha, and will it be repeatable?
Yes, it'll be repeatable for a good 2 weeks that the event is running. After November, no.
So you wouldn't be able to go back to that area, unfortunately?
No, it's something that we might do in the future, because part of what I'm developing, I would like to be repeatable by you guys, because it's quite fun.
Gotcha. All right. Is there anything? Obviously, we'll come back towards the end of the stream when we talk about the arc, just to finish it up. But is there anything you want to add on top of either Halloween or arc for the moment?
Not particularly. This is the problem with developing something that we want you guys to explore, is that there's only so much I really feel like I want to say on it.
Okay, yeah. Feedback. How can I give you feedback? How can I give you or the Guardians feedback then about Act 2?
So obviously the forums and Twitter and Reddit are always a really good place. We have people talk to us every day with suggestions and feedback. Feel free, please carry on. It's really useful.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to move on to Mod Salem because, as introduced in the BTS video, there's a very unique spin on the upcoming Halloween, on the run up to Halloween, termed Walk Like a Zombie.
Yeah.
Are you able to run this down for us?
I am, yeah. So I don't know if Mod Mohawk is watching, but I'm covering for her today, so I apologise in advance to her if I screw anything up. But yeah, basically we have an event called Walk Like a Zombie, and it runs very similarly to previous events that we've done, much like the Death Lotus promotion that we did, where basically you have a card that has a bunch of tasks on it that you need to complete, and completing the tasks gives you rewards. We've always tried to go above and beyond on the rewards that we give you for these promotions because we kind of like them, and on top of that, the tasks are usually really difficult, so we feel like we need to give you something like that's worthwhile. So this year for Halloween, we've kind of gone a little above and beyond, and we are giving you an outfit that gives you the appearance of a zombie, essentially, but also allows you to infect other players. And what that means is that you get the option to come back. What you get is you get the option to you literally to bite other players, and when you bite them, you infect them. They begin to walk like a zombie. That's where kind of the name of the promotion comes from. And the idea is that when you bite someone, they start walking like a zombie. They become a zombie themselves. They can then infect other people, and the chain goes on and on and on until people are zombies.
So is there not there's no, so the effect lasts? Is there a timer or?
So the effect lasts. Obviously, people might not want to walk like zombies, and if that's the case, a quick log out just kind of cancels it.
A quick log out. So technically, I could go around biting someone if they keep logging in, right?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, but that's part of the fun. Sorry?
Oh, yeah, you can turn aid off. Okay.
You can turn it off. Yeah, that's one of the things you can do.
That's not fun.
That's not fun, exactly. See? Sean's got the right idea. Just keep biting people.
What, just to make them up? Yeah. So you mentioned like Death Lotus. Is it like Zodiac as well? Because obviously there was Zodiac back in February, I believe it was.
I think that was the most recent one that we've done, similar to this one, yeah.
So you essentially have these tasks and then you fill out rows, right?
I would try and tell you what some of the tasks are, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I know that, like previous years, they go from incredibly simple and quite easy to do to very
Are they
hard
themed on an
tasks.
area? So, like, if this is zombie, is it based on like Mauritania stuff or stuff
Not
like that?
all of them, no.
Not all
But
of them,
some of them are. They are all completely themed, and they all have kind of a zombie feel to them, or I should say, a more darker Halloween feel to them. But they're not all kind of subject to one area at all.
And is the whole biting process, is that like a permanent thing throughout the game, or is that only going to last a certain amount of time?
So it will last for the duration of the promotion, and then the outfit is keepable forever. If you like the walkover ride, you can unlock it throughout the promotion as well. So you can have a permanent unlock of the zombie walk, which is really, really good. You really want the walkover ride. It looks awesome. After that, the biting option does go away. It depends on how people react to it. If you guys like it, if you want it to stay, then we can always look into keeping it.
Do a little community event and invade Birth of World 2 and just go crazy and see what happens. Who knows? So you mentioned, is there a date with this? Do you have a confirmed date? Are you able to share a date that is coming out yet? Or are you able to?
Yeah, it's the 27th of October, which is my birthday.
Oh, it's on your birthday. Nice.
Isn't that Shawnee's birthday too?
So I was going to just jump the gun and go, it's my birthday as well, because to stop someone like him just jumping in. But
sorry.
So we'll share our say it's our birthday on the day it comes out.
Oh goodness, awesome! So obviously a very goofy but very fun little promotion, and obviously ties in with the Guardians project as well, which could be rather hilarious, obviously. Because if you have no idea this exists and you suddenly see a player walking around like a zombie in the Dark World, then that could be very interesting in its own right.
I mean, it is pretty cool because one of the things that we do, the whole point of the invention of disaster thing, is that you are disassembling living things. That includes like zombie parts. It's like, what would happen if we just went, there's an arm, let's disassemble it, what do we get?
So in the normal world, we're a culture of monster for trying to disassemble, let's say, a Chinchompa.
Yep.
You were encouraged to do so in the Dark World.
Yeah, just tear everything apart. It's Halloween.
Including players, apparently.
Yeah. It's a bit purgy, isn't it? It's like one night a year, go crazy.
Is there anything else you want to say on top of that? Just anything in general or anything like that?
No, like the BTS video that came out last week had a bit of the zombie designs in it that you can have a look at if you want to. Also covered some other stuff that's coming out as well, like the Garage and Trailblazer dungeoneering outfit that we've got coming up. And we've also got the spider outfit bundles.
Talk about that?
Yeah, we can talk about it. So basically, we've got later this month, we've got some spider outfits coming up, basically. Again, in Halloween theme. They were shown in a previous BTS quite a while ago.
Oh, yes, I remember.
Yeah,
I
it was
remember.
when we were talking about the Faye outfits that we wanted to release them. The concept art came up and we were like, oh, no, we didn't actually want to release that just yet. So if you kind of go back and have a look at that concept, that's kind of the idea.
In August, I believe that was.
It was a while ago, yeah. But we'll also have we'll tease some stuff out as well coming up to it. But basically the way you get that is just by going to the Solomon store, buying some RuneCon packages. There's like different tiers for different RuneCon packages. So we'll kind of release all the information properly later on when it's all kind of bogged down and we know exactly what he's doing. But that's going to be, in a few weeks' time.
Is that like the main Solomon's item for October, or is there anything else with that?
There's something else as well, but we're keeping that back.
You're going to keep that one back.
Being.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
so
fine.
there is something else in the way, and it's not the Shadow Gorilla before anyone gets really excited. I teased that a little while ago.
That, yes,
I teased that a little while ago, and everyone's really excited about it now. There's a lot of work that still needs to go into the Shadow Gorilla, so it was just a tease, and we'll have that out as soon as possible.
Getting the hype up, you see, you're doing what this guy does.
Keeping it chill. I've got to keep it chill.
All right, Mod Kelpie, before you kill someone with that stare that you were doing into the camera there.
My turn to
Obviously, for ninjas, you have Bounty Hunter coming out this month. Are you going to fingers cross this? Are you going to do this?
Hopefully. It's only been moved back twice.
Nah, this is the third time lucky.
Hopefully. We're looking for the very end of the month, to be honest. But yeah, hopefully this month. Bounty Hunter.
So before we jump into some questions from the community, are you able to kind of summarise? So obviously we had Deathmatch in September. What can you give us an overview of Bounty Hunter and what people are going to be expecting with this?
Bounty Hunter, there's going to be 2 Bounty Hunter worlds, so it can only take place on those 2 worlds. One world is going to be Legacy, one is going to be EOC. In those worlds, the only places you can be in are the Wilderness and Edgeville. And Bounty Hunter is essentially you get assigned a target to take down, and they get matched against you. So you go out into the wilderness and try and hunt them down. They try to hunt you down, sort of thing. And by killing them, you get points, and you can take them to the reward shop where you can also spend your deathmatch points and buy rewards there.
So you mentioned the 2 worlds. Are these completely brand new worlds, or will these be replacing 2 current worlds?
I think we're replacing worlds.
Okay.
Hopefully we're replacing worlds. We've got far too many worlds.
We're replacing
I remember
World
a little while ago, obviously a little bit off topic, I remember a while ago about free-to-play worlds. You mentioned that
I
there was...
still haven't trimmed down the number of free-to-play worlds. I would like to trim down member worlds as well if possible, but...
Okay.
I just had an image of you with like shears then just going into the server room, just like cutting wires.
Yeah.
You should do that.
Let's do that as a BTS. That'd be amazing. Okay, so 2
That's
new.
not.
Yes, that's
Free to play one is likely to happen to put so when brand new people come into the game, they're actually going on to populated worlds. So there's quite a few free to play worlds that most generally only have 30 people on, sort of thing. So that's too low. And if we've got the same with members, then I'd like to do the same, just to provide a bit more information than that before.
Of course.
Hell breaks loose.
So we had Mod Pie on here 2 weeks ago, and we kind of talked about a quick overview of Bounty Hunter.
Yeah.
You mentioned about ELO matchmaking.
Yes.
Is that still a thing for this when it releases?
Yeah. I mean, that's the reason why we're delaying the update, is all the engine work that goes into creating that ELO system and make sure it's working correctly, because that's what we'll be using to matchmake with Bounty Hunter, to make sure you get against. Well, it will take time, initially, but once people are kind of in there, it's kind of settles down, sort of thing. People should be matched against people of similar levels, and then you've got an aim to move up the kind of ladder. Really.
Obviously, on release, that's going to be very jaded because everyone's going to be the same. But then, as you mentioned, as time goes on, then you'll find you should be where you're meant to be in that sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so got a couple of questions here. Are we able to use more than one of the Bounty Hunter room pouches, or do they only work equipped from the ammo slot?
You'll be able to use one large one and one small one at the same time, but no, not more than one large, not more than one small.
Will Bounty Hunter be available to free to play? Please say yes. Make my day.
No.
So you're not going to make his
making
day.
that person's day.
She does it.
Sorry, the guys are dancing.
Yeah, they're just dancing. They will probably catch you out eventually, guys.
So sorry, yes. So we're not doing free to play straight away. I'm not against doing free to play.
Okay.
I'll quite happily do that. If we did free to play, I imagine we'll do Legacy only. I imagine there's not enough players to do EOC and Legacy. I think Legacy is a bit more popular on the free-to-play when it comes to PvP. But currently with Bounty Hunter, all the rewards are members only, and we probably wouldn't create new rewards for free-to-play. So they can get their points up, and if they did become a member, they could then spend that stuff, but it'd be done more for fun, I guess.
There's a new photo going on Reddit very soon, I feel.
So, yeah, the other thing that we need to consider is the impact on the members game, the members Bounty Hunter game, because members can switch to free-to-play worlds, and does that have an impact? I'm not sure. So that's something we need to kind of look into, because can you obviously there's gear requirements and stuff from free-to-play worlds, so does that change things around?
Just to slightly change topic a little bit, in regards to free-to-play, Deathmatch, I believe, when ModPio tweeted out his feedback he gotten from players, is Deathmatch still in the makings to go to free-to-play as well?
I think so. Sorry, I can't remember that one.
That's not a problem. We did do some kind of we have been doing some kind of instant feedback changes to Deathmatch, but then we switched our priorities onto getting Bounty Hunter out, and then being able to go back and do further feedback changes to Deathmatch and Bounty Hunter as kind of one, because that's the general idea, is that it was meant to be more of a single update. We got a loop there where it's kind of Deathmatch kind of feeds into Bounty Hunter sort of thing, and then once you kind of need your kind of welfare gear, you go back in Deathmatch and build it up again. So once we have both of them out, it'd be easier to assess feedback, because how many of the highest level people move on from Deathmatch and concentrate on Bounty Hunter, that sort of thing. We need to see, sort of thing. Gotcha. With Bounty Hunter's imminent release, are there planned improvements to the base mechanics of combat, armor, weapon stats, class abilities, etc.?
There is. I'm going to refer to my notes there just to make sure I've got the list. So, yeah, following on from Deathmatch, we're looking at active armor, defensives, reprisal, and diminishing returns on stuns. Hopefully, we're going to get that stuff out before Bounty Hunter. And then that's what we're looking at for the time being. As I said, once Bounty Hunter is out, we may look at more stuff once we see it all as a whole, really.
Gotcha. With the release of Bounty Hunter, is it possible to set certain, well, in this case, I guess, because there's going to be certain worlds for this, it's possible to set certain worlds PvP free, because many players go to the worldy to either to do Clue Scroll or Slayer, and with the Wilderness achievement task, people are forced to go into the Wilderness if they want to obtain Completion Escape.
The people want a safe wildy, and it's not going to happen. PvP is part of the core gameplay.
Yep.
That is where PvP happens. If you're a completionist, then you need to kind of complete the game, and part of that is going into the Wilderness, and the content in the Wilderness has been designed for that risk versus reward kind of mechanic. So if we take PvP and make it free, then you're basically taking out the risk, and therefore no.
Well, that's completely fair. Is there any chance you consider disallowing rogue kill / pile jumping / luring to waiting clans in Bounty Hunter and give us fair 1v1 fights against people only with similar ELO rating?
So what you can do is you can sit in Edgeville and wait to be given a bounty target, and then you can hop over the wall and just sit in the single way area. And if you're in the single way area and you've got a bounty, that'll be you. You can't fight other people. It will only be against your target. So if that's what you want, you can just sit there and wait, and then hop over and meet your target in the single way area, and then you can't be player jumped and stuff. There.
Awesome. I imagine, obviously, the only thing you'd see then is obviously the other fights going on around you, of course, and that's pretty much it, really.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it's been a long time since we've done this in particular, which is Ninja questions. I'm not going to call it Ninja Quickfire anymore, because it's not really. You've pretty much said it yourself. Quickfire doesn't really do a good job sometimes in explaining it.
Well, the thing is by doing quickfire, I end up saying yes or no, and then everyone was like, "Why?" And it's it's kind of good to explain where I can. I can't explain them all, but yeah.
Not a problem. So, can you make living wyverns non-aggressive in line with other high-level Slayer monsters so that it's easier to kill elite spawns?
The team have got some changes they have in mind for some high-level Slayer mobs. That isn't one of them, and they won't they don't want to do that.
Sorry, by the team, do you mean Ninja? Or?
No, kind of, well, just a general, like Ninja, we know we want to make some changes to high-level mobs. Combat Council want to do that as well. The teams that delivered, like the Duke's team who delivered that kind of batch of like 4 high-level Slayer mobs, you want to make some changes. So kind of all of us, really.
Gotcha.
We've got something in the backlog for those teams to work on for numerous Slayer mobs. And we discussed this today, and no, it's not something we want to do.
Gotcha. Could the Christmas loot be returned this year? It was a limited quantity holiday reward, and many players don't have it.
So had a bit of discussion today with some people, but not everyone that needs to have that discussion with. We're not against it, but how we bring that in, not too sure, because it was a limited time thing, and it was done deliberately to be part of a limited time thing. The difference is that it was part of that. It was like that part of like a raffle type event, like several years ago, where you could get like the Christmas scarves, and I don't think I said it right. I don't. And other bits, but that wasn't. Most of that stuff was tradable. That wasn't tradable. So possibly, but you kind of like the Halloween stuff. We've got a plan for Christmas, and if we can fit in and everyone's happy with it, maybe. But right now we've got our plan and we're going ahead with that.
Gotcha. Can you add an intercept spell timer to the buff bar? It would be very useful for players teaching others to play to BVM.
Yes, that's on our backlog already.
Awesome. Can you please make the light/dark armor sets become free overrides like Fareed's and that might be a question for you, Mod Sailing,
You
potentially?
didn't finish the question.
Yeah, okay, sorry. Okay, so can you please make the light and dark armor sets become free overrides like Fareed's and Camille's? I don't know how you say it, apologies.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, I see what I was talking about. That is something that we've been talking about, weirdly, not too long ago, actually. I think that came up. No decision's been made yet, so I don't want to say anything just yet, but it is on our radar. We'll be thinking about it. So,
Gotcha. All right. Can you make bank presets recognize a full essence pouch?
No, and probably not even with the bank rework, to be honest. Just with the way it works.
As in the pouch itself?
Yeah, I think it's. I don't understand it.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm not going to pretend to understand it. But no, I'm afraid not.
That's no problem. Can you buff the XP rates of cursed energies with the demonic skull while in the wilderness? A 20% bonus is quite negligible for its cost and the risk to train there for any skill.
So for that and all the kind of wilderness skilling activities that we did recently, we've given it some time, and we're working with the analytics team to get data on how many people continue to train in these places, how much kind of XP it brings in, how much better it is compared to other places and stuff. And so we'll make decisions based on that. So we know we'll probably make some feedback changes to some of that stuff. But until like we've got all our reports and stuff, I don't know what we're going to do. But we're going to make our decisions based on data.
Gotcha. Are there any planned quality of life updates for construction, rune crafting, or fletching?
Construction, there might be one or two things. I feel like we've done quite a few kind of quality of life type fixes already in recent history to like POH type stuff.
Did make X for flat packs for construction,
sort of stuff, yeah. Fletching, I don't think so. So if you've got any suggestions, do let us know. I mean, suggestions for any of them. I always want suggestions. And then, what was the other one? Rune crafting.
Yeah.
I think the only thing there is that making it more obvious where the rune sphere is and at what tier it is and stuff.
Is there a way, so you just mentioned people getting suggestions to you.
Mm-hmm.
What's the best way for people to get suggestions to you?
I mean, like, we take them from Reddit, we take them from our Twitter accounts, we take them from the forums. I probably personally prefer Reddit because of the way stuff gets upvoted and you can see how much upvotes it gets. Whilst if someone tweets you, like, you can get retweets and stuff, but there's just generally more people on Reddit than those other things. I occasionally do a ninja survey. I'm actually writing one at the moment. And what I can do with these like SurveyMonkey surveys is I can give out different links to different places. So when I do these ninja surveys, I do they all go to the same survey, but I put a different link on Reddit, a different link on Twitter, and a different link on the forums. And the vast majority all comes from Reddit, and very, very little comes from the other two places. So Reddit does tend to be the best place because you got the most number of people there voting stuff up. Yeah, and then and the survey will be out probably later this week because last time I did a survey, I asked the general question was like, what's your top ninja fix you want? And most people were saying bank placeholders. There was interface creep stuff where your interface keeps on getting messed up, and there was some Araxor bug, and the Araxor stuff I'm pretty sure is fixed.
Placeholders obviously covered in bank rework.
Bank rework, we're working on that, and we're currently working on the interface creep issue as well. That's kind of going back between dev and QA. We've improved it, but it's had some knock-on effects, so we're trying to fix those. So based on the fact that we're working on those things, like I want to know like what's the next thing, and there's some other questions in there that are going to be about like graphical reworks and color blindness issues.
Gotcha.
And potentially some other questions.
Oh, awesome. Can the glowing effects from auras be added to the effects tab in the wardrobe, and the wings from certain auras be added to the wind section?
It's probably more questions.
So you're going to throw that over to me, aren't you?
Yeah.
We've had this question so many times, and we know that people want it. I mean, we've looked into it before. Just the way they were originally implemented means no. That doesn't necessarily mean never.
No forever.
But it would require a big overhaul of the way things are at the moment, and one of them isn't on the cards at the moment. So.
Yeah, with a lot of stuff, you have to say like it's like never say never, because the amount of times like some of these things like the interface creep issue and stuff that we're looking at, and the bank stuff, I've asked when I was in QA about this stuff or whatever, and we just get told like it's not going to happen. People say no to stuff or it can't be fixed, and then you get someone else to have a look at it. And one day they see something and it's like, oh wait, maybe we can do this, or we improve stuff with our engine and all that and this stuff, and we actually find ways of being able to do stuff. So it is a case of never say never, but that sort of stuff is low on the priority list really.
We are doing something at the moment, vague, but we're looking into the way the store works, and that might open some sort of avenue, but right now, unfortunately, not.
Apparently, I'm a confirmed JB, who I'm assuming is Justin Bieber fan.
What?
Never say never. Never.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Well, what I can't actually know.
I didn't even know you were in QA. I did not know that. Today I learned.
I started in QA, yeah.
I didn't even know you like Justin Bieber.
I knew you loved Justin Bieber.
Is there any chance the Shattered Heart can be reset with a weekly diversion and distraction token?
No, I get this question a fair bit, and no, we're not doing it. It's been deliberately set out to have be able to be doable in a certain time frame, and we're happy with that, and we're keeping it like that.
Gotcha. Can the instanced Corporal Beast session tell you when it's over? It currently doesn't show when it's over.
Yeah, I think we can do that.
Can we have Frosty, Mini Blink, and Hope Nibbler as familiar overrides?
I mean, like ideally, yes. Priority-wise, resource-wise, we don't have the resources to work on that sort of thing at the moment, and priority-wise, it's not that high. It's not like way down there, but we know because it's a fairly common question. But we've done a lot of other stuff recently, and it does take a fair bit of animation work, and we need animators on all our other projects at the moment.
Is there any new keepsakes that you're planning to add?
I mean, like usually, like Ninja have some job in our backlog, which is just add to the keepsake whitelist anything that gets missed off. So people have got stuff, just like tweet it, whatever. Maybe it'd probably be useful actually just to have a thread on the Ninja forums, which is just for stuff missing off the whitelist that we can just add on to, and then just go through them and batch add it on at times.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So just say,
and
be the first person to create that form thread and be my hero. And then I didn't have to.
If they haven't done it, if they haven't done it by the time this is over, I'll go do it. It's not a big deal. Anyway, question from the Twitch chat: can you extend the bank healing effect of the max skilled bank, or make your player actually walk up to it when you bank? A lot of the time, the player stops just outside the effect and doesn't auto heal. I imagine it's a problem when they go back to the max skill bank and then they think they're ready to go, and then they teleport straight to boss, etc., and then they haven't auto-healed from the effect.
I'm sure something came up about that before, and I can't remember what was said. I can look into it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And then I guess just a general question for Ninja. So obviously you guys currently working on Bounty Hunter.
Yeah.
Is the next project for you Christmas or anything like that?
We've already started on Christmas.
Okay.
So currently we are, we got, a couple guys on Bounty Hunter. We're on Christmas. We're on bank rework. So bank rework, we're kind of still very much at the technical design stage, investigating stuff. We have been, due to RuneFest taking up a lot of people's time, we've only just kind of after that been able to like start really getting people to discuss bank design, and we're nearly there in terms of like fully agreement and stuff. And what we would like to do is put that out to the players on the forums as well, and read and everything, as a design document for everyone to see, know what's coming, see if there's anything we missed. There will be some stuff that's maybe not on there that people want, and that will be probably because technical reasons and stuff, and we can explain that. But yeah, that's something we'd like to put out to everyone in the near future. I'm hopefully that's only like a couple of weeks away. There's people on holiday, which is delaying it a little bit. And then continuing to have Mod Melia is constantly on Ninja Fixes, so there's always someone on Ninja Fixes now, which is good.
Obviously, we got a couple of Ninja. Obviously, a couple of Ninja Fixes went out this week. A couple of them actually very rated highly based on like the reception to them. Like Telos interface change, which I believe was a change from Mod Hunter. Who put that in, and then the other stuff that come in alongside it. The waterfalls as well. The buy-in 1,000 urchins lamps, sorry, in the waterfall. So yeah, I mean, and then Ninja Fixes as well for next week.
There won't be, unfortunately.
Okay.
Just being these days of being a little bit more sensitive to our release team and our localization team in terms of being able to release stuff. But so not next week, but yeah, the following there should be a batch of stuff.
Awesome.
17th, I think it is. I'd really like it if we have the interface creep out for that time, but I can't guarantee it. But there will be some other stuff there as well, yeah.
Interface creep will definitely go down well, especially obviously when you, a couple of weeks ago, was trying to find people having those issues, when that was literally the start of it, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Where literally
that was good because I just, the QA guys went in that day, so I just wanted to look myself. I want to say, hey, will we actually fix this? So I just asked people who had issues with the interface layouts, gave me screenshots. I recreated those, and then just kind of logged in with that account on a world where it hadn't been fixed, and I could see the issue. Then the world where we had the fix and could see it not having an issue, and vast majority of them was fixed, and there was just the one issue that I could find that that wasn't. So send that back, and continue to be looking at and improving it. But even if we haven't fixed every little bit, and we can't fix every little bit, there's still should be some.
There's a substantial amount there. Awesome. All right, I think, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for everything that is coming up in October. But just to give you an overview and a rundown, first thing to look out for is the Ark Region 2 releasing next Monday. Because of Mother Ryan and the Guardians, they will be releasing, of course, featuring 4 or 6, depending on how you look at it, new islands to come a bit. A brand new journal, which will replace your current brochure, so to speak, that is on the Ark, which will essentially be your hub and contain everything you need to know about that update. And all new stuff to look out for. 2 main skills to focus on in farming and divination. A total of 15, I believe you said there were, in different variants. And of course, many changes to the Uncharted Isles to hopefully make your adventures a lot more fun.
Rewards as
well.
And
rewards, and one particular one I want to point out, I haven't pointed out the stream, which is, I said it at the start, but the Hunter outfit, of course.
Yeah, I'll go through them quickly for those of you who didn't
catch
the stream last week. We've got a Hunter outfit which gives 6% hunting XP. It's you can wear the Yaktui stick with it at the same time. We've got a thing called a Bone Picker, which is the upgrade to your Bone Crusher. This is a badass reward. Basically, the way it works is any bones that you don't have set to crush, it will put in your inventory, and you can toggle that from the interface as per usual. start saving your chimes and taijutsus. We've also got the blueprint for the crystal tool siphon, which will give you tier 90 invention, disassemble XP or siphoning XP for crystal tools. And also watch this space because Mod Ryan is working on more crystal tools, such as the Hammertron and other things he's given nicknames for, and hopefully we'll keep some of those names because they're really cool. And then we've got the, in fact, I'll let you carry on before I mention another Halloween reward. Yeah.
Oh, okay, you're going to mention, okay. And then, so that is actually releasing next Monday. And then we have, as well, from Guardians in October, we have Halloween. Give you a quick overview. Essentially, think of Dimension of Disaster, but with a bit of a spin on invention. So in the game, you can disassemble chin chompers as a living thing, but in the Dark World, you can disassemble, let's say, body parts, etc., etc. But it's got a bit of a story behind it, and obviously a bit of a
gruesome.
But we've got to say it like it is, I guess. And there are rewards to be expected from that, and I'll leave it to you for this one.
Yeah, I mean, I guess obviously there are cosmetics in play like we do for every holiday event, but we're bringing back the ectoplasmator as well.
Okay.
Which we're even looking, not this particular event, but we're looking at upgrading that in the future. So watch this space. It'll probably be holiday event or core content related.
Awesome. And then that will lead us on to Walking Like a Zombie coming out from Mod Sailing and his lot. And to give you a quick overview of that, essentially, if you participated in either, let's say, Death Lotus or Zodiac promotions in the past, you have a card to fill out. But the main thing is, I guess, I'll leave it to you to just take it away.
Yeah, just literally biting other people, infecting them with the zombie curse. And I don't know why you laugh every time I say that.
And you just laugh all the time.
Don't try this at home type of deal.
Don't try
right?
it. Don't.
Apart from the fact it's going to be like one person and a couple of minutes later, like everyone else just walking around with it.
Exactly.
I feel like I'm going to have to log on to my JMod account and start teleporting around, biting people.
This is why I wish in a way we could travel to other people's islands. So how amazing would it be to travel to someone's island and then
bite them? Yeah, nice. Yeah, indeed. Maybe for a tap project, guys. You never know. I'm not going to commit to anything.
But yeah, it's just biting people, infects them, spreading the plague of the zombie virus. Also, you can unlock the zombie walk as your own personal override, should you want to. And one thing I saw in the chat that I forgot to mention before was that there are stamps this time around as well, like the previous ones, to skip tasks should you want to.
And then, of course, you have the spider bundle,
the spider bundle, yeah.
Which is the spider pet outfit and
parasol.
Parasol.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
So
really cool.
for people who enjoyed the parasols from the beach, we're bringing a spider parasol, which is essentially a webbed version of it, but it looks really cool.
Awesome. Is that everything? Have I missed anything else?
Mentioned the Garage and Trailblazer outfit as well. That was kind of in the BTS, and that also looks amazing. So go check that out in the BTS should you want to.
Awesome. And then, of course, we went over to Kelpie and his lot at bringing out the Bounty Hunter update the end of October, I believe is what you mentioned. And I'm going to just do this because he's been doing this the entire stream. And that will then, of course, lead them on to Ninja Fixes in 2 weeks, as you've mentioned. And hopefully with that will be interface creeping, of course, other stuff from you guys.
I would hope, but I can't guarantee it.
Of course. But I think in that sense, I think that'll do it. So
I saw someone mentioning Aura Bag. It's something else that I need to chase up where we're at with that because it's something that we do want to do.
Okay.
I think we did some investigation into it. I need to chase that up. And yeah.
Gotcha. So we also have another customer support stream this Friday, so make sure to check that out. And then, of course, we have a Patch Notes teaser stream, which is going to be with me looking at Arc Region 2. So I'm going to have a blast with that one, obviously, not trying to show off any of the secrets. The Model Ryan has done a great job in keeping away for you guys to experience with Monday's update. And next week's stream is going to be a very, very interesting one because we'll be talking about the feedback from the post-RuneFest survey that we put out last week, 2 weeks ago. And also we'll be letting you know about the 27 content survey as well. So you can probably expect Mod Kelpie back here next week to go with that.
Yeah,
Yeah?
I think so.
You think? I'm pretty sure.
I'll check my schedule.
But just,
I'll pencil it in.
and also, we'll be having the start of October, and what that is that Mod JD and Mod John, throughout starting next week, every week, they'll be going through 1,000 easy, medium, hard, and elite clues every week for October. But apart from that, ladies and gentlemen, I think that'll bring it to the end of this developer Q&A.
One thing, people were saying the date for Bounty Hunter, it's very, very last Monday of October, which I think is the 31st.
It's literally Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween.
So
So
that's the target date.
Halloween, got it. And yeah, I think that'll bring it to the end, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to thank you all so much for watching. As always, have yourselves the most glorious night, and we'll see you next Monday for the release of Arc Region 2. Take care and have a good one.
Bye.